Once beloved by millions, the cast of Full House 1987 filled homes with laughter and quickly soared to stardom, capturing the hearts of audiences everywhere. But as the years passed, their fame faded just as swiftly, leaving behind only memories. Some cherished, others tainted by career scandals that left fans reminiscing about the past. Now, 4 decades later, where has life taken them? Join us as we revisit their journey, from the heights of stardom to the lesser-known chapters of the Full House 1987 cast's lives. Bob Saget, from America's favorite TV dad to a life of highs, lows, and tragic farewell. When Full House 1987 is mentioned, one name immediately comes to mind: Bob Saget. As Danny Tanner, the caring, ever-wise single father, he became a beloved figure in millions of households, teaching heartfelt life lessons with warmth and humor. His portrayal made him a symbol of love, earning him the title of America's Dad. But behind the wholesome image was a vastly different Bob Saget. After Full House ended, he took an unexpected turn, revealing a side of himself that surprised fans. Beyond acting, Saget was a stand-up comedian and host of America's funniest home videos. He was a fixture on Full House from 1987 to 1995, and later returned for the Fuller House revival, which ran until 2020. He also lent his voice as the narrator of How I Met Your Mother, adding yet another layer to his diverse career. Once free from his sitcom dad persona, Saget embraced an edgier comedy style, delivering sharp, often provocative humor. His bold jokes startled longtime fans who adored his family-friendly image. Long before his rise as Danny Tanner, he had been fired from CBS's The Morning program after just 6 months. His humor, they said, was too risque for daytime television. In his 2014 memoir, Dirty Daddy, Saget didn't hold back, sharing raw, sometimes controversial stories with a mix of dark humor. While many appreciated his candor, others found his revelations too shocking, especially coming from the man they once saw as the perfect TV dad. But nothing was more shocking than the tragic news of his sudden passing. On January 9, 2022, Bob Saget was found unresponsive in an Orlando, Florida hotel room. He was just 65. Authorities later determined he had suffered a fatal head injury from an accidental fall, leaving fans devastated. Tributes poured in across social media as the world mourned the loss of a star who had touched so many lives. Just hours before his passing, Saget had performed a solo show at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, spending time with friends and colleagues. His manager revealed that he had been feeling unwell and battling COVID in the days leading up to his death. Bob Saget is survived by his wife, Kelly Rizzo, and his 3 daughters, Aubrey, Lara, and Jennifer, his youngest from his first marriage to Sherry Kramer. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Hollywood's most famous twins who walked away from the spotlight. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were once America's favorite child stars, charming audiences as Michelle Tanner in Full House, 1987. Alternating in the role, they became synonymous with innocence and cuteness, winning over fans everywhere. But as the 2000s unfolded, their once glowing image slowly dimmed, overshadowed by controversies and personal struggles. Stepping away from Hollywood, the twins built a powerful fashion empire through Dual Star Entertainment, finding success with their luxury brand, The Row. However, their business wasn't without scandal. In 2015, the sisters faced a legal battle when former interns at Dual Star Entertainment Group filed a lawsuit, accusing the company of unfair labor practices. The interns claimed they worked over 50 hours a week, managed countless emails, and handled complex tasks, all without pay. The case ended in a $140,000 settlement, but the backlash left a stain on both their brand and their reputations. Mary-Kate Olsen also found herself linked to a Hollywood tragedy. When actor Heath Ledger was discovered unconscious in his apartment in 2008, Mary-Kate was the first person called before authorities. Reports suggested she refused to cooperate unless granted immunity, sparking speculation about her involvement. Though no evidence linked her to the case, the incident cast a shadow over her personal life. Ashley Olsen, too, faced her own hardships. In 2016, a cosmetic procedure known as a liquid facelift went horribly wrong, leaving her with severe swelling and a serious risk of tissue damage. To recover, she had to undergo oxygen therapy, all while enduring intense media scrutiny. The experience took an emotional toll, with her appearance becoming a hot topic of public debate. Mary-Kate's personal life also made headlines in 2020 with her messy divorce from Olivier Sarkozy, the younger brother of former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Next, meet a heartthrob from the early 90s, once adored by millions, but now struggling with a dangerous addiction that has left fans heartbroken. John Stamos, Jesse Katsopoulos, the heartthrob who struggled with alcohol. John Stamos became an icon of the late 80s and early 90s with his unforgettable role as Jesse Katsopoulos in Full House. With his signature long hair, rock star charm, and quick-witted humor, he won over audiences and cemented his place as one of the most beloved TV heartthrobs of the era. His success in the role didn't just elevate his career, it made him a defining figure of the decade. But when the show ended, Stamos quickly realized that fame wasn't always a smooth ride. Behind the charming smile, he battled a private struggle with alcoholism, a challenge that took a toll on both his life and career. In the years since, Stamos has remained a familiar face in television, taking on various roles. But despite his continued work in Hollywood, he has never quite escaped the overwhelming legacy of Jesse Katsopoulos. No matter how many projects he took on, that character's shadow always loomed large. One of the biggest obstacles in Stamos' career was his well-documented struggle with alcohol. In 2015, he was arrested for driving under the influence, a shocking moment that tarnished his otherwise polished reputation. The incident made headlines, forcing Stamos to confront his problem. To his credit, he took responsibility, seeking help through rehab and working toward sobriety. His personal life has also been filled with highs and lows. He endured multiple relationships and a highly publicized 5-year marriage to actress Rebecca Romijn before their divorce. Next, we take a look at a star whose dramatic downfall left fans heartbroken as a once beloved celebrity lost everything in a shocking twist. Candace Cameron Bure, from America's sweetheart to a storm of controversy. For millions of fans, Candace Cameron Bure will always be remembered as DJ Tanner, the kind-hearted, responsible eldest sister of the Tanner family in Full House. With her wholesome charm and down-to-earth personality, Candace became a symbol of family values, winning the hearts of audiences across America. Her role not only launched her career, but also solidified her reputation as a beloved TV icon. One of the most polarizing moments in her post-Full House career has been her stance on LGBTQ+ issues. She has made statements advocating traditional marriage, expressing beliefs that many viewed as exclusionary. By publicly stating that marriage should only be between a man and a woman, she sparked widespread backlash. Critics accused her of being insensitive and dismissive of LGBTQ+ rights, while her supporters praised her for standing by her convictions. Beyond that, Candace has never shied away from voicing strong opinions on politics, faith, and social issues, making her one of the most divisive figures to emerge from the Full House cast. Can Candace reclaim the warm, friendly image that made her a household name, or has the controversy forever altered how the world sees her? Only time will tell. Next, we take a look at another Full House star, once a fan favorite for their cheerful personality, who quietly faded from the spotlight, leaving audiences wondering what happened. Dave Coulier, Joey Gladstone. the beloved friend who faded from the spotlight. For fans of Full House, Dave Coulier was the man behind Joey Gladstone, the fun-loving, goofy uncle who always knew how to bring a smile to everyone's face. With his infectious humor and childlike charm, Joey was an irreplaceable part of the Tanner household, adding warmth and laughter to every episode. Following the end of Full House, Dave continued working in television, appearing in various shows and stand-up comedy gigs. He even tried his hand at hosting, hoping to carve out a new identity beyond his famous sitcom role. Unfortunately, none of these ventures propelled him back to the heights of stardom. His personal life also became a source of public intrigue, particularly his relationship with a young Alanis Morissette in the early 1990s. At the time, their romance raised eyebrows, as Coulier was 33, while Alanis was just 18. The controversy only deepened when rumors swirled that Morissette's hit song, You Oughta Know, was inspired by their breakup, a claim that, while never fully confirmed, kept Coulier in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Today, Dave Coulier continues to perform and make public appearances, but his name no longer carries the same star power it once did. While Full House fans still remember Joey with fondness, Coulier remains forever tied to the character that defined his career. Jodie Sweetin, Stephanie Tanner. From beloved little sister to a battle for redemption. With her bright eyes and infectious smile, Jodie Sweetin won hearts as Stephanie Tanner, the spunky and lovable middle child of Full House. She was the girl who made audiences laugh with her sass and catchphrases, leaving a lasting impression on fans of all ages. But after Full House ended, Jodie struggled to find her footing in Hollywood. Despite her efforts to take on new roles, she could never fully step out of Stephanie Tanner's shadow. Behind the scenes, Jodie's life was unraveling in ways no one could have imagined. She fell into the grip of addiction at a young age, battling a secret that would haunt her for years. While she continued to land small roles on television, none of them matched the success of Full House. Though the exact timeline of her addiction remains unclear, Jodie revealed in interviews and her autobiography that she turned to drugs not long after Full House ended in the late 1990s. Yet, Jodie refused to let her story end in tragedy. When Fuller House brought her back to the role that made her famous, it was more than just a career revival. It was a chance at redemption. While she could never fully recapture the innocence of Stephanie Tanner, she was able to rebuild her career and reconnect with the fans who once adored her. She embraced her role as a single mother. What the future holds for Jodie Sweetin remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. She has proven that even after the darkest storms, there is still a chance to find the light. Lori Loughlin, the graceful star who fell from grace. As Rebecca Becky Donaldson Katsopoulos, Lori Loughlin charmed audiences with her beauty, intelligence, and warm-hearted nature. She became a beloved figure, portraying the strong and sophisticated woman who balanced career and family with grace. After Full House ended, Lori continued to thrive in Hollywood, building a solid career with a steady stream of roles that made her a familiar and trusted presence on screen. But in 2019, the image of the elegant and wholesome actress was shattered by one of the biggest scandals in Hollywood. Lori, along with her husband, fashion designer Massimo Giannulli, was arrested for her role in a shocking college admissions scheme. The couple was accused of paying bribes to secure spots for their daughters, Bella Rose and Olivia Jade, at the prestigious University of Southern California. The scandal sent shockwaves across the country, sparking outrage and disbelief among fans who had long admired her. Lori's downfall was swift and severe. She was sentenced to 2 months in prison, along with a $150,000 fine, 2 years of supervised release, and 100 hours of community service. The actress who once embodied kindness and integrity on screen was now facing the harsh reality of public backlash. Though she has since completed her sentence and slowly returned to small acting projects, the impact on her career has been undeniable. The name Lori Loughlin, once associated with charm and elegance, now carries the weight of a painful chapter. Unlike Lori, the next Full House actress never reached great fame, but she still holds on to her innocence. Andrea Barber, the quirky star who never left Kimmy behind. As Kimmy Gibbler, the lovable oddball neighbor on Full House, Andrea Barber carved out a special place in the hearts of fans. With her quirky personality and offbeat humor, she became an unforgettable part of the show's charm. But while her co-stars found steady work in Hollywood after the series ended, Andrea faced a much different reality. Unlike many of her colleagues, Andrea struggled to land major roles after Full House. Instead of pursuing a full-time acting career, she stepped away from the spotlight, choosing to focus on her education and personal life. While she did take on occasional small projects, Hollywood never truly came calling in the same way it did for others. However, fate had other plans. When Fuller House, the sequel to the beloved series, was announced, Andrea was given the chance to reprise her iconic role. Fans were thrilled to see her back as Kimmy, just as delightfully eccentric as ever. Yet, the role of Kimmy Gibbler was both a blessing and a curse. The character was so uniquely memorable that audiences struggled to see Andrea as anyone else, making it difficult for her to break out into other roles. While this limited her opportunities, it also ensured she would always be remembered as one of Full House's most entertaining and cherished characters. Despite not reaching the same level of stardom as some of her co-stars, Andrea has maintained a strong bond with her colleagues and is admired for her joyful and lighthearted spirit. Blake and Dylan Tuomi Wilhoit, from beloved twins to quiet lives, away from the spotlight. Blake and Dylan Tuomi Wilhoit captured the hearts of millions as the adorable twin brothers, Nikki and Alex Katsopoulos, on Full House. With their infectious smiles and playful antics, they quickly became fan favorites, etching their names into the hearts of viewers everywhere. However, as quickly as they rose to fame, Blake and Dylan chose to step away from the limelight after Full House ended. Growing up in the public eye was not as glamorous as it seemed, and the pressures of fame took their toll. The twins decided to leave acting behind, opting for a quieter life focused on education and jobs outside the entertainment world. While other child stars like Jodie Sweetin or Candace Cameron Bure faced their own ups and downs in Hollywood, Blake and Dylan have managed to avoid much of the drama that often surrounds the industry. They have embraced a much more peaceful existence, free from the pressures and expectations of their earlier years in the spotlight. Anne Marie McAvoy, the star who chose a different path. Beyond Hollywood, Anne Marie McAvoy made her mark in Full House playing Kathy DJ Tanner's ex-girlfriend, a character who was not only beautiful and popular, but also had a touch of arrogance, mixed with a warm heart and unforgettable moments. She was part of the show's charm, yet after her time in the spotlight, Anne Marie made a decision that surprised many. Rather than chasing fame, she chose to leave Hollywood behind and pursue a career in education. Using the knowledge she gained during her time in the entertainment world, Anne Marie became a university teacher, a path that few could have predicted for the actress. Her decision to step away from the spotlight has only deepened the mystery surrounding her, leaving fans curious about her life beyond acting. Now, let's move on to a beloved Full House character, one that was every young girl's dream boyfriend, yet sadly forgotten by Hollywood. Scott Wanger, Steve Hale, the perfect boyfriend, yet Hollywood didn't quite work out. Scott Wanger captured hearts playing DJ Tanner's charming boyfriend, Steve Hale, in Full House. With his good looks and natural acting, Scott became the perfect match for DJ, making Steve a character viewers would always remember fondly. But after the show wrapped, Scott's journey took a different turn than many might have expected. Despite his initial success, his post-Full House career didn't quite soar. Fame at such a young age can bring both glory and pressure, and Scott faced the challenges that come with it. Although he appeared in several other TV shows and films, none of them could replicate the magic he had as Steve Hale. Eventually, Scott stepped away from the spotlight, focusing on a quieter life with his family. Now, let's shift focus to a Full House character who stole the show with her bold personality and was beloved by fans across the board. Marla Sokoloff, Gia Mahan, the rebellious-style icon whose star burned bright. But briefly, Marla Sokoloff won hearts playing the bold and rebellious Gia Mahan, Stephanie Tanner's best friend, on Full House. Gia's sharp wit and unique style made her stand out, even as a supporting character, and Marla's performance left a lasting impression on the audience. But after Full House, Marla's career didn't take off in the way many had hoped. While she appeared in a few films, her time in the spotlight was fleeting. Personal scandals, including troubles with her love life and public relationships, overshadowed her career, affecting her public image. As the years went by, Marla shifted to working behind the scenes, keeping a lower profile and stepping away from the media. Taj Mowry, Teddy, the forgotten child star who once stole our hearts. Taj Mowry, known for his role as the charming and mischievous Teddy on Full House, quickly became a favorite in the Tanner family. Although Teddy wasn't the main character, his playful and humorous antics helped create the warm and cheerful atmosphere that fans loved. But after Full House wrapped, Taj's career didn't quite soar as many had expected. Despite landing a few roles in films and TV shows, his fame slowly faded. Taj didn't face any major scandals, but his projects after Full House never captured the public's attention, and he quietly slipped out of the spotlight. Now, let's talk about the beloved mother from the show, whose career came to an abrupt halt after a scandal that no one saw coming. Jason Marsden, Nelson Burkhard, from loved villain to forgotten face. Jason Marsden made a memorable mark on Full House as Nelson Burkhard DJ's charming yet often frustrating classmate. Although his role wasn't a lead one, Marsden's good looks and captivating acting brought an added layer to the series, making his character one that viewers couldn't easily forget. After Full House ended, Jason seemed poised for a successful career, with a number of opportunities knocking at his door. He appeared in a range of TV shows and films, including Step by Step, but despite his efforts, his roles never quite reached the impact of his earlier work. Slowly, his roles became less memorable, and Marsden found himself drifting further into the shadows of Hollywood, often relegated to supporting parts, rather than the starring roles many had expected for him. Jason Marsden's career never fully escaped the shadow of Nelson, the character audiences loved to hate. Though he didn't face the scandals that plagued some of his peers, his lack of a clear direction kept him from gaining the career momentum that could have made him a household name. Despite his early promise, Hollywood didn't give this talented child star another shot at stardom after Full House. Miko Hughes, Aaron Bailey, the struggles of a once bright child. Star Miko Hughes captured hearts as Aaron Bailey in Full House, a cute and talented child star who seemed to have a promising future ahead of him. His bright smile and impressive acting skills made him stand out, leaving a lasting impression on fans. However, as Miko grew older, maintaining that same level of success proved to be a challenge. Like many child stars before him, Hughes found it difficult to transition into adult roles that would keep him in the public eye. Hollywood can be a tough place for young stars, with its rigid expectations and the need for actors to adapt to new mature personas. Miko's inability to find roles that matched the appeal he had as a child led to a decline in his career. Though he continued to appear in a few small projects, such as The Fifth Wave and a guest spot on The X-Files, they weren't enough to reignite his earlier success. As new talent rises in Hollywood, Miko's name faded from the spotlight, leaving him mostly out of the public eye. Full House was a launching pad for many young stars back in the day, offering them their first big break into the world of entertainment. However, as time passed, the fame that came with the show wasn't enough to keep these actors at the top. Some, like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, decided to step away from the limelight, shifting their focus to business ventures. Yet, their career choices were met with some criticism, as fans couldn't quite reconcile their new paths with their past roles. Meanwhile, others like Bob Saget and Dave Coulier struggled with scandals and found it difficult to reclaim the fame they once had. The shadow of their beloved characters loomed large, making it a constant challenge to redefine their careers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and make sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on more fascinating content.